Hello, folks. I'm here trying to use the DEVIKA, this new automation that you can run and try to build your prototypes with AI here. And this is not a distraction. I am trying to build like a web UI to visualize hypertable chunks and compression independent of timescale cloud and other UI. And I'm just trying to see how it can think and how far it can go, right? So this is just like starting a step-by-step plan here to create a timescale to be hyper table explorer. So it already puts a good name here. And the thing is that now it's just like accomplishing with this task. So they have like this step to create a Sinatra and build the gem, and they also have a few other tasks. And as you can see here, it seems that it's stuck, but it's supposed to be working. So we can watch it, and somehow, as you can see here, I was building another plan before, and I would like just move here and see how it goes and if we can stream. I was checking if maybe the problem was um, this one, and this is already doing so. Alright, I will be setting up the Sinatra. Once that's done, I will be handling the connection settings, and then I will focus on the fetching hypertable. So that's the steps that it's doing, and this is how agents work. So they can talk and finish some special task, and then when they have the deliverable, they can take it to someone else. So for example, let's say as you are writing a code for a task, there is a way that you can just make your agent write the code and pass the code to another agent to try to review it, to try to see the weaknesses and so on. So this is a very rudimentary thing yet, so it's just beginning, it's just a prototype, but if we get a great community around this type of things in the future, um, our copilot modes will be even better for like exploring new technologies and things like that. So here we go with this, and now I would like to show you what's going on in the terminal, because this is really going to happen, and the workers are doing something here. So as you see here, the answers, and you can also go to the terminal here, and here you can see the projects that are already have some things. So for some reason it's still not creating anything for the code, because probably it does not suggest, or this is a bug in the terminal or something. But for example, here is the game of life. I was trying to explore the game of life. You can see here it contains a few ideas here how to run, install things, and then run the Python. The problem that the Python file here is just the first step, just establishing the interface, but it's still just getting over the first step. So it needs a few minutes or hours to interact. I'm still too anxious to hear, trying to make it work, but yeah, that's how it's going. And I'm quite happy to see that at least it started the task, it created some stuff for me, and it seems not that bad and not that hard to continue from this. So it seems very useful. Yeah, let's wait a bit more. What I was excited here was looking this Chrome engine, opening the browser, searching things. It seems very cool and so interesting. For some reason, this was not selected. And let's see how it's going. Let's go. I am really not sure how is this, let's say, pending tasks and this lack of information, and all this type of let's say multiple reasoning that is necessary is going. So here you can see it started working. It's going to learn how to do Dockerizes network replication. It's trying to just like learn how to use Postgres, and it's researching like we do researches, and maybe even getting different errors. So now you see it already configured some files. It also created some extra things. It's editing the files and trying to run, and soon it gets into some failure. It will just interact over and be interacting more and more. So that's I hope the way that it will it will be doing this thing. So it says it completed a task, and then okay, so what we have there. So here we have the TSDB UI. So let's find it in the terminal here. So we can go cd tsdb UI 3. We have the gem file that looks good. Bando install. Let's see if we can run it, and let's see what we can see here. So let me just see what else we have. So we have the config file, and we also have the main file. And in the main file here, you can see that we have some very good things. It's just getting db.hypertable. This is really not like exactly how timescale.db gem works, but it can learn from it. I can just make it change now. So we have this main file that is something that we can fix, and we can also point to the documentation. So let's see if it can learn from the documentation. So let's go to Jonathan's github.com/timescale.db, and here you can see migrations, and I can also see here in the introduction. Let me check where I have I guess models. Here in the model you can see hypertable metadata. So I'm going to ask it to take a look on this documentation and see how it goes. So let's ask it. So change the app Ruby Sinatra server to use the right timescale.db model. About internals with let's get here the source code. Let's see how far it can go. So if we go to GitHub here, I can just say, hey, go to lib here, and then go to oh, not lib, I would like to just go to bin slash tsdb, and here it can also learn how to collect the hypertables. So let's see if I can say it. The name of the file is main.rb to work like this file example, getting hypertables metadata. Let's see how far we can go, if we need to be improving too much. So let's see how it goes. So in the theory, it's just going here. It's just trying and add more routes, step-by-step plan. So let's see if it will be able to edit the file as we expect, and if it's able to also do this type of change. So let's see here if it changed anything, because it says here that it completed the task and say that it will update the example. So let's see what we have now. No, it was not able to update the example. Even though it's not hard to update, we already have something here. So let's see what we have in the front end. Okay, so the front end is pretty raw. We need to implement it, and we also need to get more data to make it available. So I think the best way to follow now is try to give a URI for making it able to work, and let's see how we can make it. Okay, let's see. So now it's just trying to create the hyper table part and getting the hyper table data, and also this is believing that we are going to have multiple hyper tables, and it's going to translate and add chunks for each hyper table. And you can also move and have some mouse over effects and learn about created at here, just trying to believe on details of the chunk. It's still not very clear about the details, so we need to say, for example, here create the backend endpoint for those for chunks based on timescale db information.chunks view. So we are ignoring that it's not able to do most of the tasks, but in the same way, like you can see that it's able to start looking for some, let's say, yeah, we can implement an endpoint, we can implement some extra functions that will be doing. So it's just like proposing the initial code. It's not like really implementing the details, but we can really advance and say like, hey, just draft this structure for me, put this template or do something, and it will be able to advance and at least make it compile at some point. Let's see. Let's see if it can run and test application. Let's see if it will use the browser, what it will do. And yeah, that's the future. Let's see how people will interact with such tools like this DEVIKA or any other tooling that are going to, let's say, be the let's say extensive copilot work will be available forever here. So even if it's spending time doing several researches, that's what we do in the end of the day. That's how we also move. The problem will be when these things start interacting between them and start moving really in a different way. So it will be maybe a threat that we will not know why people don't know anything. But in the same way, if we know what we are doing, we can really speed up our workflow with this technology. So yeah, very excited about it. It's still far from getting something, not like really happy because I just got the scaffolding things. Like I can't consider any, let's say, complete task, but this is the beginning. that's how everything starts. Everything starts with a dream, and people should dream together, and that's why communities are around. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's continue exploring.